Hey, good morning. It's Donald and
Mary.
and so hey guys, man. So yesterday we were missing in action. We've got some stuff going on that needed a lot of attention, and it's going to be a couple weeks before we can step away from the attention. But we definitely want to make sure that people are getting their information, and just we want to continue to.
Provide the best information we can so that everybody has a full understanding of what goes on out here and how to have the best hike possible.
Right, to make sure y'all are prepared when you come here.
That's right.
And so today, so we've been talking about like towns and gaps and shuttles and how to get from point A to B, Atlanta to the mountain, or Amika or Amicalola, we call it Amika. But today, something else we have seen over the years and experienced out here is something we call hiker shaming. And it's when a hiker comes here and they don't have the exact gear that everyone else does, maybe because they don't have that type of money, or maybe whatever reasons there is, it's not the exact same gear that everyone else is wearing, whether it be a Hyperlite Z-Pack or whatever, man. So throughout the years, we've seen people actually end their hikes because of it. And I'm going to give an example. And Mary's going to give a bunch of them, actually, because she actually gets really involved. I do too, but she's actually picking people up when they're getting whatever feelings are going on, and they'll get in the car and those feelings will come out in the vehicle. So, and I've had my times too, but Mary has a bunch of them. So we had a, what was her name? I don't want to give names, but
You're talking about the lady from Canada?
Yes.
At that time? Yes.
Yes. And so years ago, in like 2017 or 2018, there was a person hiking through, and this person was a heavier set person, and they had like they didn't have the they had some Solomon high tops, and then they had I think an Osprey pack and something else that just wasn't matching up to what everyone else was wearing, man. And at that time it was like Osprey packs, but there were just some things that were not the cool guy stuff, man, or the cool cat stuff. And so there was and it just happened to be someone from my hometown, and that was making fun of the girl for being overweight, not carrying the right gear, and yada, yada, yada.
Doing the right amount of miles every day.
That's right. Because they want you to, everyone thinks they're doing 15s right off the rip. And back then, definitely. I mean, there's some people doing it today, because there are people out here now that are actually hiking, and they come here and they've been practicing or training, and they've done other hikes. And so people are doing 15s, but from our experience, the majority of them can barely do 6 miles. We've had people that we've dropped off right at Springer Mountain and walked down to Stover Creek, walked back up and called us and asked us to come and pick them up after they spent thousands of dollars to come here, man. And this happens more often than not. And so, but that's what we want to touch on. This girl actually got off trail because of it. And she came down from Canada. She had a pass,
a
visa pass. Was it for a year?
I believe it was for 6 months.
Yeah, because she stayed.
That's right. She stayed for a while to recuperate and, I think she was trying to get back out, but I think that she'd been so discouraged that she just decided to end it and go home.
Yeah. Because a person we know actually went up there and picked the person up and brought them to their house, and she stayed with them for like months. Right?
Yeah,
didn't she stay the whole visa?
I don't think it was the whole visa, but she was here for a while. Absolutely.
And then she went home to Canada. And the person that let them stay here in America, they actually went to Canada to see them. They're like good friends now. So, but that type of stuff happens more often than not out here. And we wanted to just touch on it a little bit, and give examples from our experience on what we've seen, and what our opinion on it. And so, I mean, Did you want to tell some examples, man?
Well, I get the ones. Sometimes it could be overweight folks, just trying to get out here. And, they always tell me I'm not in great shape. Well, you know what? When you get out here and you walk each day, you're going to be in better shape than you were when you started. Or maybe they're not making the miles like we just touched on, or their gear isn't up to par. It's kind of, the same going along for each person. Maybe they have a disability that allows them to only do 3 miles in a day, and they're shamed for that because people don't know their whole story. And you know what? You're out here doing 3 miles a day. Awesome for you, because 6 months prior, they couldn't get out of bed because they were so sick. So
That's right.
they may go into a hotel or a hostel more often than not because they're trying to acclimate out here. They might slack pack because they need that little extra time to get themselves set up and in a good way so that they can do more miles a day. And I talk to a lot of folks and I ask people, what inspired them. They might tell me, well, because we get a lot of retirees now. And in the past, I've had so many folks sit down in the car when I'm picking up section hikers. I asked one person one year, I said, you ever think about coming out to do the thru hike? And he says to me, he goes, oh no, I'm too old. I'm like, well, how old are you? He goes, I'm 40. You're not too old. You're in your prime to get out here and, bust off some miles. There's everybody out here from all age groups. And, you need to be, I know people need to be kind to each other and understand and encourage. And I've had the older folks that I've seen where, just because you're 55, 60 years old, you have younger folks kind of wondering, what are they doing out here? Are they okay? And there was a couple of years back, somebody had posted, so I didn't have my own information with them, but I believe they posted that they were 60, they were at Stover Creek Shelter, and a couple of younger girls, this was a woman, had called Forest Service to do a well check on them because they were old. And all they were was 60 out here hiking. And they had gotten off and went to a hostel. I lost the story after that, so I don't know if they came back out, but that can be very discouraging.
Okay.
So whether it's your gear and it's not light enough according to standards that people set for themselves and each other, your food, your sleeping accommodations, how many miles you walk in a day, your age, you're a thru hiker attempting, you're a section hiker, you're a day hiker. I think what we all need to remember at the end of the day is we're all out here climbing that same mountain today. We're all out here with our own individual reasons. We're all looking for something because everybody that comes out here is looking for something. And I think that instead of knocking people down with the standards that some invisible standard that's out there, I believe that everybody has in their head, until they see how it works out here, because not everybody knows.
That's right.
I mean, people don't know, and of course, when they see, they can adjust things as to, oh well, this is how it works. But I think no matter what your goal is out here, whether it's a day, 8 months, a year, let's be kind to each other.
That's right.
We're all climbing that mountain today, and let's be kind and let's encourage each other, because you can either encourage or cut down. It goes either way, and I think there's so much more benefits in encouraging and being kind to each other. And I hear a lot of it from the hikers all the time. It's like, oh, I rolled into camp, I didn't have this, and I was so stressed, and oh, there was somebody there already, and they gave me everything I needed.
That's right, too.
And all of a sudden, everybody's best friends.
That's right.
You walk in a stranger, 5 minutes later, you're best friends.
That's the magic.
It is the magic.
That's the magic.
So,
that's that magic, dude.
So what I'm trying to say is, let's encourage each other. Let's be kind, and
that's right.
And you get so much more out of it, and it fills your soul, and it's wonderful for everybody.
That's right, dude. That's right. So Mary made a lot of good points there, man. And that's all the stuff we both see out here, and I'm sure other people see it also, man. And so the experience of the trail is going to be different for everyone, man, because we all perceive things differently. But in the end, we're all out here, like Mary said, climbing that same mountain or walking that same exact trail, just for different reasons. But all of us need to be kind to each other and encourage each other, because we don't know why they're even out here. We've met people. We had a woman that was in a firefight with her boyfriend that he killed himself right there. He was like suicide by cops.
Yep, he held her hostage.
You know, in a house. And so she was coming out here to just find some sanity, man. And that happens more than not. We have a lot of military that come out here that are traumatized by what they've seen, man. And this is the only place where they feel free, man. Like they're I've talked to a lot of them, like, you know, and we've had them in our house and in the cars, and we've talked to a lot of them. They open up to us, because this is where people open up, man. We're like kind of like counselors too. And so not knowing what someone is, you know, why they're out here, whether it's because they were held hostage in a gunfight, or in the military, or a police officer that, you know, was seen a horrific accident or killed someone, or a firefighter, that whatever it may be.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but also after the pandemic, I had that year a lot of healthcare workers coming out.
Man,
tons. And they were extremely stressed, and they were saying they were out here hiking to get over that stress because they saw so much, and some of them broke down into tears, and they were healing. And as they went along, and I saw them, you know, you saw the smile on their face.
Right. The transformation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's that magic working again, guys. That's that magic, dude.
It is.
And her just saying that, man, is like, you pick people up. Maybe it's at the airport, or maybe it's at Springer Mountain. That's your first encounter with them. But people will continue to use the people they trust, man, whether it be us or Ron Brown or Brett or whoever. But they start to trust you, and then you pick them up 4 or 5 times, or, you know, you just keep picking them up. And every single time you pick them up, there's a bigger smile on their face. You can hear the transformation in their voice. Their voice completely, their attitude and everything. It's like a ray of sunshine breaking through an overcast of clouds, man. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And that's what, you know, keeps Mary and I going, and it keeps me going. I mean, this is why we do what we do. And like, that's why we're concerned, like, not concerned, but that's why we do these videos and everything we do and build stuff, man. So people can actually go to our page and just get the free information. And it's solid info. And you guys can come here prepared. This is it, man. I mean, this is how it works. But we also want to just, you know, touch on a bunch of stuff and just, you know, talk about what's really going on out here, man, and what can we do to make the trail better for everyone?
That's right.
Because we're all stewards of the trail, man. We all have to do our part to make it better. And Mary and I have been blessed by everything out here, and we just like to give back, man. That's right. We're going to end this here, I think. Is there anything else you want to talk about, man?
No, I think I'm really good. I think that we've covered, you know, what there was information needing to be put out there, and we always want to inform and encourage everybody. You know, whether you're just coming here for the first time and you've never stepped foot on any trail, or if you're a very seasoned hiker, no matter who you are, you know, this is your trip. It's your personal journey, and we are here for everybody.
Yep. Yep. Sweet. I like it, man. You heard the lady, man. All right, guys. We're gonna end it here. We're gonna move on to our day, man. We're gonna get our car into the shop. It's getting 2 rear wheel bearings today. So, and then hopefully we can get it in again and keep just building that old bird. But we're gonna get ready to do that. We got some other stuff going on, so we're gonna end it here. And I hope this little video here, this content, man, I hope that people are listening and apply it to their hikes. And if they see anyone doing it, man, lead by example. Just kind of be cool, and maybe they'll follow example. The example, and I think, you know what I mean? You don't have to tell anyone what to do. Just be like, hey, you know,
I
That's
think
an awesome bag, man. What's your next move? You know what I mean? Instead of,
leading
man, that bag sucks, bro.
right, leading by example, I believe, is the best way because others see and maybe they just weren't aware
That's right.
and maybe it just clicks in and they're like, oh, and sometimes people that aren't so kind, maybe they hear or see and they think about it, and later on down the line they're adjusting how they put themselves out there because they see the other kindness in people.
I think also, I'm going to say this real quick. Georgia is the first state.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that come here are new. I think that it takes a minute for people to kind of understand the trail. It took us 10 years, and we're still trying to understand it. And so, and we work both sides. We're hikers and business owners. So I divide the two. There's a huge difference. After you get on the business side and start seeing it all and how it all works, you start seeing the whole picture. And so, and maybe, when you live it, man, for a while, man, you just start to see it, and you're walking up trail, man, and people start to change, and their views start to change. And so, if we can start that right from get-go and encourage everyone and give a positive vibe out there for everyone to vibe off, man, it would be a lot better place, man. All right.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, kids. Peace, man. Thank you. One love.